I think all of us have had this situation. You roll up to McDonald's, you find yourself in front of a Big Mac meal, and you're like, you know what? That McFlurry looks lovely. It looks really good. I think I'm gonna have one of those too. Or your kids in the back, so like, oh man, look Dad, they got the 2 for $1 ice cream cones. I just passed my multiplication test. Can I have one? Oh, it's great. Yeah, we'll have 3 ice cream cones and a McFlurry. To only hear the guy on the other end say, yeah, the ice cream machine is broken. I'm like, damn it. So this has been an ongoing thing. Many people have talked about it. Ice cream machines are breaking at kind of all fast food places, but specifically at McDonald's is the one that's the focus of this investigation here. So if you're worried about these things, the FTC has been put on the case, or they're on the case straight up. They've reached out to McDonald's franchisees this summer, and they were seeking information on what exactly is going on with these broken ice cream machines. It's great. By the way, this story has so many layers, I cannot wait. Owners of the McDonald's outlets have long been complaining about devices that are overly complicated and their breakdowns are hard to fix. So these machines require a nightly automated heat cleaning cycle that can last up to 4 hours to destroy the bacteria involved. The cleaning cycle can fail, making machines unusable until a repair technician can get them going again, is what some of these owners from these McDonald's locations are saying. So, I mean, it makes sense. You have dairy products going through a machine, you gotta clean it. And if it doesn't get cleaned every night, or if something happens in that cleaning process, what they're kind of left with is saying is, oh, I guess it's just kind of dirty and we have to just call it broken until someone comes and fixes it. This is such a big problem, as you're seeing right here. This is a website called McBroken.com. And bro, look at this. They scroll, you can scroll to every McDonald's everywhere in the country. Look, this was specific on my computer. Look, you can scroll out, we started in LA. You can scroll out, look at what percentage of the McDonald's in each city you're looking at has broken ice cream machines across the country. Look, I want you guys to notice exactly how deep this is on the East Coast. They have a problem in Washington and New York City, guarantee you. Look, if we zoom in closer to that. So, for all you guys want to look up where your broken machine is before you go and get duped into ordering a McFlurry, that is the site you can go to. That's how important this is to people. Now, it gets even, trust, it gets better. So they were looking for a fix in something. So some of the owners have been wanting to train their staff and their employees on how to fix these machines. Others have contacted the manufacturer of these machines, which is called Taylor Commercial Food Services, or an authorized repair company. So that costs them more, it takes longer for someone to come out, especially since COVID has been happening. These things are really gumming up the works. So before we discuss further, the FTC wants to know how McDonald's reviews suppliers and equipment, including the ice cream machines, and how often restaurant owners are allowed to work on their own machines. We're gonna get into those weeds in a second, but first, is this important to you?
Yeah, well.
Seems like it's important to JR, who just did a deep dive. Oh my, this is like my favorite side of JR. I just need to say at the beginning, I'm gonna find out exactly what's wrong with the McFlurry machines. Because if I have to order another goddamn McFlurry and they tell me there's not a goddamn McFlurry, I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah, no, but that's almost exactly what actually happened. Okay, and JR has these pet peeves that we were talking about in the last old school episode. And so you better not mess with JR's pet peeves. He'll McBroken your ass, okay? So I love that there's an actual McBroken.com. And so a lot of you out there have obviously have experienced this, especially on the East Coast, as JR pointed out. New York, 28% of the McFlurry machines are broken. In LA, it's only 7.5%, okay? Everything's better out here in LA, except the fires. But you might be wondering, Jesus, I got it, it's JR's pet peeve, and this McBroken.com guy put all this effort in, and obviously he's pissed. But why is the government involved? FTC, that seems pretty serious. What do you care? All right, then don't get the ice cream. Move on, go to Burger King, right? Well, no, they're investigating to see if these things break on purpose, and hence the manufacturers of them make more money fixing them. And it's not just about ice cream machines at McDonald's. They're investigating a number of industries like your phones that constantly break because they make more money when you have to buy new ones.
iPhone.
Oh, well, if there was a software update, your phone is too slow now. There is nothing we can do. You have to go buy the iPhone 28, right? So should the FTC look into that? Definitely. Is this the silliest portion of that? Probably. Okay, but at least it'll make JR happy.
I mean, yeah, we were talking before about how government spends money on random things like whether or not why monkeys throw poop at each other. This is a worthwhile investigation. Get to the bottom of this. The Biden administration is finally following through on one of their promises to progressives.
See, government can work. Okay.
But first of all, go ahead, go.
Do you know who is so excited / I'm most skeptical of that this story came out? Is people that work at McDonald's. I just always had this feeling that McFlurries were such a pain in the ass to do that they just lie and say it's broken. Like there are many parts of the food service industry where people are just like, I don't want to do it. So I'm going to lie to you and say that we don't have it. And I thought the McFlurry fell into this situation. So I'd like to formally apologize to the entire, nationwide McDonald's staff that I just assumed told me to go F myself because there's no way that they're gonna break up another thing of Oreos because for some reason, it turns out like the bacteria cultures are getting way too intense and they just would rather save everyone from it than make me a McFlurry and clean it.
I always thought things like, they're about to close and they got to clean it at the end of the night. I didn't think it was a long process. They've cleaned it and they've already kind of cleaned it because they want to get out early because they want to go out. And then this guy comes and orders a McFlurry. They're like, I'm not going to start up this machine again just for this one last customer. No, it's broken, bro. I've thought things like that before, and I've respected it, by the way, because I can feel you. Now, this story gets so much better. There's an extra layer. Listen. Some people are complainers and some people are fixers. Watch, check it out. So 2 years ago, a firm called Kitch Incorporation, started by 2 accountants turned frozen yogurt machine inventors, BAM, began offering a device to mount on the ice cream machines to alert owners about a breakdown. This is specific for these particular machines. The device sends out a real-time text and email alerts that can prevent damage to machines, is what this third-party company says. Now, one selling point for this extra mechanism, its warnings are in clear English. Normally, the Taylor machines who make these ice cream machines, they have user messages, and according to Kitch, they look something like error, and look at all of that random text that means nothing to any human being. It's actually text that you have to look up on the manual to see what's going on. So, not only that, this gets better. At the peak, McDonald's owners in 30 states use Kitch's breakdown spotter. This is the startup company said. Many people have used it. Many McDonald's have used it. And McDonald's told franchisees late last year that the devices aren't sanctioned and that they may potentially pose a safety hazard, which Kitch denies. McDonald's said that it's developing its own smart device for the shake machines. That last line is very, very important here. McDonald's is developing their own device that will give them in real clear English what's going on, not the Kitch devices. Now, Kitch fired back in May with a lawsuit that accused Taylor, who's the company who makes the original devices, that authorized only their work on Taylor machines and a McDonald's franchisee of conspiring to replicate Kitch's technology. The complaint, which is pending, alleged that Taylor gained access to Kitch's device after one of the McDonald's brought its machine to the repair company with the device still attached to it. So Taylor looked at the machine and said, "What's this weird thing on top of our machine?" And the McDonald's said, "Oh yeah, this company called Kitch told us they can do this and they can get a clear messaging." And McDonald's said, "That's a good idea. I think we'll do that too." So they're developing their own version of it. And Kitch is like, "No, you're not." So lastly, this is what Kitch said is happening now. This is a case about corporate espionage. And the extreme steps one manufacturer is taking to conceal and protect a multi-million-dollar repair racket. These are attorneys for Kitch wrote. Taylor, the other company, denied it had a copy of the Kitch's device or that it sought to steal the technology. They said in their court filing, this is a case of a hacker. Kitch incredibly accused the hacked Taylor of theft. So now they're mad at each other. They're gonna take it to Judge Judy. You know, sometimes one plaintiff says, "Yeah, I'm suing him for $3,000," and the defendant says, "Well, I'm countersuing you for $3,000 just for bringing me here." That's kind of what's happening here with this situation. Kitch's attachments would change the game, and Taylor's like, "No, they're not. We're gonna make one ourselves."
Okay, this will forever be known as the McFlurry Wars. And as I'm sure there's already a Wikipedia entry about this. But there's a couple parts that I really love. When McDonald's wants to make its own so it can make more money off of the machines that break on purpose, right? And they don't like Kitch getting into their action, right? They're like, the Kitch things that translate a bunch of letters and numbers into actual English, safety hazard. Dude, the whole thing started with your bacteria. Like the bacteria is really hard to clean. And so now you're talking about safety hazard? Apparently the machine is the safety hazard. And by the way, that's why they tell you it's broken, because they don't want to tell you, yeah, the bacteria cleaning apparatus isn't working out. Would you like the ice cream with the bacteria?
Honestly, I've had McFlurries before, and yeah, I'd be fine with that. They're delicious.
And Brett, by the way, that turns this whole thing, I guarantee you, is a giant ad for McDonald's accidentally. Like even us doing the story, because it doesn't matter what you say about it. Everybody wants a McFlurry now, and they're gonna go, and ironically, they're gonna be broken.
On behalf of everyone who's ever had a Wendy's Frosty, switch. Make the switch. Get some fries, dip them in the Frosty. You'll go home happy.
Well, vanilla or chocolate Frosty, because now they introduced that like a few years ago. They have a variety now at Wendy's.
Chocolate. Oh. I'm gonna go with chocolate.
It works. It does. So I'm sorry. So there was. Oh yeah. So the part of the conspiracy that I don't think we brought up, or maybe clearly didn't say, is, say you're at the drive-thru now. Sorry, this is a little off topic. You're at the drive-thru now. You maybe you went there just for a McFlurry, because guess who's done that before?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, really, I couldn't guess.
That's how this all started. JR Ghost wrote this entire study.
I'm not even big on fast food. I don't like fast food burgers because I make my own. So the thing is, and everyone knows that's true, I will not. Anyway, sometimes you go there just for that, and now you feel like the a-hole in the drive-thru, and you said, okay, I'd just like to order a McFlurry, and you go, it's broken. And you don't want to be like, okay, I don't want anything. And you just drive through, look at the guy at the first window and go, yeah, I was the guy who didn't want anything. And then drive to the next guy and they look at you and you go, yeah, I was the guy who didn't want anything. And now you feel like an idiot. So at the window or at the order machine, you go, okay, fine, I guess I'll just have 2 cheeseburgers, fine. Like you order something, even though the thing is broken. So they still get you.
Yeah, it's all.
They still get you.
It's all capitalism, guys. Look, slash, damn it, none of them are our sponsors. And that's why we're
honestly though, with like this McDonald's stuff, like if anyone saw the founder, this is fairly classic McDonald's. Like McDonald's isn't even McDonald's, it's Ray Kroc who drove the McDonald's people out of their own company and took it over. It sounds like the same thing's happening with Big McFlurry.
Yeah,
the Big McFlurry.
Yeah, it's Big McFlurry's driving all this. It's true. We, on the other hand, are McBroke.com. Okay.
Well, I'm sorry. Let's keep it real. The kitchen company who makes the attachment that tells us the real life, they're in the right in this lawsuit. I mean, let them have their attachment and fix your damn machines, or at least help people monitor what's going on with your machine.
Yes. They're lucky we're not on that jury, McDonald's and Taylor. There are a lot of great ways to watch the Young Turks, but is there a best way? Of course, the best way is to watch live. Tune in weekdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. You get our uncensored, unapologetic version of the news that you won't get anywhere else. Watch us live.